The Spaniards, on their first settling in the West Indies, immediately treated the natives of that.
The who?
Immediately treated the natives.
The natives who were there. That's Northern Kingdom. They treated the natives that were there, the original inhabitants of the islands. Go ahead.
Of that part of the globe, according to the Pope's instructions.
So the same conditions that they set for the Israelites in Africa to enslave us, all infidels, unbelievers, is the same papal bull was passed to us in the Americas. That was Pope Nicholas passed the law for us to be enslaved in Africa, and Rodrigo Borgia, what's his name? Rodrigo Borgia, Pope Alexander VI of Rome, he passed the papal bull to enslave the Native Americans on this side at the same time. Okay, that was his papal bull to enslave the Native Americans on this side of the world. All right, go ahead.
Damn, next part heavy. They divided them by families or districts among themselves as slaves.
Why? Why families? Because they knew who they were enslaving. Damn. They knew who they brought over there. They said, okay, we're going to bring this group over here. These guys belong to this group. That's why I showed you in that last book, Rights and Slaves. They said they are very particular about which Negroes to bring to America. They want to make certain that they bring the right group so they can what? We can populate. You understand? We can populate more. They're going to marry within their own. Read on. Themselves as slaves. The Native Americans were made as slaves. The poor Indians is going to say, go ahead.
The poor Indians were now forced to die for pearls.
They had us die for pearls as well. And they had us die for pearls over there in China too. Go ahead.
To wash gold fad and to work and
to wash gold
sand.
To wash gold sand.
Sand
means, for example, the movie called Blood Diamond, where they had us go into the rivers and they would shake dig into the dirt and shake the sand to see if they find gold. That's what it means by gold sand. Have us sift through the dirt to find gold in the Americas. Go ahead.
To wash gold sand and to work gold and silver mines for their new masters.
To work gold and silver mines for their new masters. This is Native Americans here. Go ahead.
They were often carried far from their native homes.
They were carried far from their native homes. Watch this.
And in short, they were so miserably fed and used.
Emaciated. The same conditions. Emaciated. Malnourished. Go ahead.
That in a short time, these countries were entirely depopulated.
Same thing happened in Africa with the Arabs. Depopulated certain parts and land masses. Go ahead.
In order to supply that loss, the Spaniards carried off the other Indians who were not yet subdued by stratagem or force, especially from the Lacayas Island. The Spanish court at last prohibited those violences, but the Spaniards soon found means for evading the orders of their court.
Yeah, they got laws to say leave them alone, but they were still killing them and enslaving them and raping them and robbing them. They didn't care. He still don't follow his own laws. Go ahead.
They decried the Indians in Europe as the most sanguinary race of savages, on which Ferdinand repealed his former orders and bade them carry off these cannibals by force from their native places, and to treat and sell them as slaves.
Oh, man. See that? Same thing. These guys are savages. Treat them as slaves. Yeah, like the Negroes. Go ahead.
With a great deal of pains and dangers, the Spaniards now carried away the number of laborers wanted for their exigencies, but soon found them too weak to support long and hard labors.
Yeah, Northern Kingdom couldn't fight, they couldn't work as hard as Southern Kingdom, pretty much. Go ahead. That's what they found. Go ahead.
Bishop Las Casas is generally thought to have been the first who advised the Spaniards to import slaves from Africa.
So this guy, Bartolome de las Casas, this asshole, excuse my language, he said, oh, well, don't enslave the natives. We can convert them to Christianity. Bring the Negroes over instead. That was his solution to the problem of slavery of Native Americans. Just replace one slave for another. Go ahead.
In order to spare the Indians. But our author shows that before that time, Moorish and even Negro slaves were sent to America.
Moorish and even Negro slaves were sent to America. Moorish and Negro slaves were sent to America. These are the same Jews that were banished from Spain and Portugal. They were called Moors. They were Jews.